Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I am enthusiastic today because it is our, our Freaky Friday?
Today is actually Flashback Friday.
First time Friday?
Yeah, first time. Yeah, exactly. No, Flashback Friday, as we're repping our Nebraska shirts today. We have a special Friday edition of our show. We are honoring one of our dearest family members and close friends who had just passed away too soon. All of a sudden. We're all sad. Yes, it was very sudden. We're honoring him today, Travis Cole. He was a huge Husker fan, being up in Nebraska, and so in our Flashback Friday, we're honoring him and repping the Huskers.
This is for you, Travis.
Yes, this is for you, Trav. And so we're going to talk about the NFL because he was a huge NFL fan.
Yeah, he liked the
And we are going
49ers.
to, he was a 49ers fan and keeping it in their division. We're going to talk about the Seattle Seahawks a little bit today.
Yeah, let's get
in.
it.
And there is some drama up there in the Northwest. Boy, I don't know what's going on with that locker room.
They're supposed to be chilled out up there.
Yes,
and they are definitely not chilled out.
That NFC West traditionally has a lot of really good teams in it. You got the Rams, you got the Niners, you got the Seahawks, and you got the Cardinals. That's a really good conference up there. And the Seahawks have really been leading the charge for the last couple seasons.
And they've been great and fun to watch.
They've got a whole different swagger up there. Seattle is a great sports town, and the Seahawks have really been carrying the load for them. With the NBA not keeping a franchise up there, and the Seattle Mariners really haven't been anything for quite a long time. And so it's been the Seahawks, and then I guess you got the Washington Huskies, you know, the college team. But the Seahawks have really been the big game in town.
Back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yes.
They won the first one, should have won the second one. So they've been a team to watch.
They've been
lived up in the north. And listen, up there they have so much going on.
They do. There's music and there's a lot of.
Yeah, we get that.
Right.
But there's good sports up there.
There's a lot of really good sports up there. Yes, they do have a WNBA team up there too, and they're really good. But we're talking about the Seahawks today, and like I said, there's a lot of drama going up there in the locker room. And this has been a franchise known for having a really close-knit, tight locker room.
Yes.
And right now, it's kind of in disarray. There's been free agency talk all off season.
Marshawn gave them the deuces.
Marshawn Lynch gave them the deuces. They signed an overweight running back who is basically in his contract.
They are paying him not to eat.
Basically, exactly, which doesn't make any sense because when you're in the NFL, you need to be in tip-top, prime-time shape. You shouldn't have to have some clause in your contract to make sure.
To pass up the burger.
That doesn't make any sense. Richard Sherman has been a free agent basically this year. And there's been a lot of talks about getting traded to the Patriots.
No, that's not going to happen.
There are some other teams out there that have been talked about for him to go to. He is staying in Seattle, but that's been a big story because he's sought out after being one of the best corners in the league. And so right now it's like, hey, what are you guys going to do with all of this noise going on? And then there's talks about Colin Kaepernick maybe going there. One of the big headlines that I know you brought up is the Russell Wilson and the defense. What are your thoughts on that and why that's such a huge topic right now?
Well, I have two thoughts. One, football to me is the ultimate team sport. I know there's a lot of teams where I'm talking about ultimate, that everybody has to be doing the right thing or you're not going to win. So I think it's really important that offense, defense, special teams, everybody has their role and that they're all pulling together. But I also understand that you have a defensive team and an offensive team.
Right.
So the fact that the rumors are that the defense is got no kind of love for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
It kind of surprises me a little just because of what we've been talking about and how they have this great vibe up there. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. As long as the defense has each other's back.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, listen, hey, this guy's beat me on the edge. I need your help. You know, hey, holler at me if he's coming inside. As long as they're tight, it's okay. It'd be great to think that the defense is like, oh, we love Russ, which is what we all thought.
Sure, yeah.
But it surprised me a little bit, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
Do you think the Richard Sherman off-season stuff has kind of made it added more fuel to the fire?
Of course. Richard Sherman is the leader of the defense. He's the voice for the defense. And as goes Richard, goes the defense. I will say this. It's one thing to feel like, hey, the defense, it's like you told me. You guys were having a receivers meeting.
Yes.
You were in there, and one of the quarterbacks came in to try to tell you something. What happened?
Yeah, we had to tell him to get out.
no, man.
It's a wideout thing.
It's a very
close thing. I will say just quickly on the Richard Sherman thing as we're kind of wrapping this up. He is really one of the leaders of that 100%. Defense and of the team, and he's very outspoken. Everyone knows that when he's doing interviews post-game. He has his own opinions and is very vocal about that. I think the Super Bowl, the second one that they lost in overtime, not
dumbest
overtime,
call
but
ever.
At the very last second. It really hurt them. It took a hit on their team. There's been a lot of pieces that have left coaches, players, onto other franchises, and that's been a big reason for why they haven't been quite the same. And it's hard to get to a Super Bowl, especially back-to-back years. And there's been a lot of talks about Russell Wilson as the golden boy, the poster child for who they want certain players to be like. And so there's been a lot of backlash on him. He's kind of
he's a nice guy though.
Super straight-laced, and so
he's sponsored by one of the airlines, and he makes sure every player gets 2 first-class tickets to use whenever.
I think it's a lot of just media-driven. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a potential Hall of Famer. Right. He's a great person. I love Russell Wilson. I love him in college.
You played for a quarterback that the whole team thought was weird, but as long as he's slinging them touchdowns, you're good.
Well, I think the defense will be fine. I think as long as Richard Sherman is playing within the team and isn't trying to be more than the team, I think they'll be fine. What are your quick thoughts on Colin Kaepernick trying to maybe get thrown into the mix there?
Sorry, I should let you
No, that's all right. No, go for it. Yeah. What are your quick thoughts there? Yeah.
I think it's the absolute right fit for him. I think that he might even be a bridge between the offense and the defense because he is a little bit more of the round-the-way kind of guy. Remember when it was the Russell Kaepernick comparison?
Yes, that's true.
I think that he might be somebody that comes and helps really unify the team.
Right.
So I think it's a perfect fit for him. I really hope he gets signed and we can all move on and just be done with that.
Well, as the season will get started, people are looking at some of these other teams that made big offseason moves within the draft and things like that. The Giants are one of those teams. They're in the NFC East in a very competitive division there, especially with their rival with the Cowboys and then Washington and then Philadelphia. Odell Beckham has been their poster boy for the last few seasons. This man has not shown up for OTAs. First off, a lot of people don't really care about that because they don't feel that OTAs are important. Do you think that OTAs are important?
Well, we talked about this in pre-production. I have to throw that back to you as a football player.
Right.
These are organized team activities prior to really your summer stuff and camp in the season.
Yes.
How important is it? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I just think that it is important for the fact that everyone gets a chance to shake their dust off, shake the rust off. You get a chance to see each other again. It's a good way to play 7-on-7, get into the drills. Everyone gets to know each other. The new guys get to meet the old guys. The old guys get a chance to show their leadership and show their work ethic and things like that. It's not highly important as far as, hey, you're not winning a championship at OTAs and the perfect attendance for OTAs. But it is a step in the right direction to show everyone's commitment and saying, hey, we're all here together. This is the new wave of guys on our team. And I think it's important that everyone is there to just say, hey, this is who we are going forward. It's not the end of the world if people aren't there, but I do think it does say something if you are there. It's important to me, I think.
I guess the only thing I would say is that we've all been a part of stuff where the superstar, the prima donna doesn't show up, and what begins to happen is, so-and-so thinks he's too good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a distraction.
It's a little bit of a distraction, but like you said, it's May.
It's May, exactly. They'll be fine. All right, so as we're finishing up this NFL segment here, the NFL has now said they're going to relax the rules on the touchdown celebrations. And so now that means basically you can do anything you want to except for any sexual or vulgar moves, which I do think they need to keep it family friendly. There are still grandmas watching, and so you can't have people doing air humps or things like that.
There's some stuff that we don't need to see.
But at the grand scheme of things, scoring a touchdown, we talked about this, scoring a touchdown in football on any level is one of the hardest things to do on the planet. It really is. And so when you just busted a big run or you just had an amazing drive and you guys all scored and the old lineman wants to get in there with you and you and your quarterback or whoever, your tight end, running backs, you guys come up with something, you want to throw the ball up and have it hit and you guys fall backwards. That should be allowed. Touchdowns are awesome.
I'm not going
to be able to celebrate, right?
I'm thrilled for
yeah,
this.
I think it's amazing.
Listen, you are a running back, a really good one. Your brother plays on the line.
Exactly.
He plays guard. He is in the trenches.
He's working.
He's never going to score a touchdown.
Right.
But he's going to be a part of probably every touchdown that's scored.
Absolutely.
And when he gets to the pros, if that ever happens, let the linemen get in the circle and dance.
And then if someone busts a big run, they broke 5 tackles and then, you know, scored in a critical part of the game, they should be able to celebrate and not worry about getting a 15-yard penalty. I think it's a good
100%
thing that I can't believe that it was even a thing in the first place, but now that it's more acceptable, it'll be fun.
The only thing, and listen, I get the no violence and the throat slash or shooting them down. The bow and arrow, I don't get, but
I don't think
at the end of the day, let's just be happy.
Hey,
we can start dancing.
We're moving in the right direction. Right. Well, we want to say, speaking of dancing, Travis, he was a dancer. He loved dancing. He loved music. And so this was a good way to help honor him. Exactly. We want to say we appreciate your time, folks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Type in my name, Adam Orduna. Like our Facebook page. We want to say we'll see you next time, folks.